Hey everyone, welcome back to another Wealthsimple portfolio update video where the portfolio is sitting at a new monthly high and video high of $233,265.27, and all time the portfolio is up about $95,000 or about 68.6%. We are getting incredibly close to an all-time gain of $100,000. I cannot wait to see that number hit six figures. As mentioned, since we're already into November somehow, we put a new bar here on my portfolio tracking spreadsheet. And of course, we're at a new all-time high month over month of about 233,000 as of the time I inputted this amount. And going back just a few years, November of 2022, the portfolio was under $70,000. In just 3 years to have this triple is absolutely insane. But as always, I'm going to jump into all of my different accounts within Wealthsimple and break down all my different holdings since we're in a new month here. I like to do that every month. So be sure to stick around to see all my holdings, all the transactions that I had over the past week. Also, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're getting super close to 4,000, and also drop a like down below to push the video out to more investors like yourself. So first account up is my TFSA. It's at $86,864.97. And the TFSA was up about $1,000 or just over 1% this week. And checking out the all-time return of the TFSA, it's about $31,500 or just under 57%. Now, as I mentioned, since it's a new month, I like to go over all the holdings within each of my accounts here. So we'll start here with my TFSA, of course. And I'll basically just give a bit of extra insight into each position that I have. First position here is a firm. I've got about 23 shares worth about 1,700 USD. This position is actually down all time about 6%. Next up is my beloved AMD. If you've seen my videos before, you know that I love AMD. I'm only at about 17 shares in the TFSA now. I've taken a bunch of profits. I've taken profits twice on this stock over the years, but I'm sitting at about 4,400 USD still in the TFSA, and this position is up 141%. CrowdStrike, another one that has done phenomenal for me. I don't have as many shares as I used to since I've taken a lot of profits on this. I'm at about 2 shares worth about 1,100 USD, and I'm up about 186.96% on this position all time. Next one that hasn't done very well for me is Enphase. I bought this at a pretty bad time in my opinion. Overall, the solar demand in the United States just has not been very good, so thus this position being down 80%. I'm at about 8.7 shares worth about $260. I mean, I think this could come back. I think solar is, of course, the future. So I think I'll just hold the bag on this one. Next, I have FBTC, which is a Bitcoin ETF. I've got about 55 shares worth just under 3,000 Canadian dollars. I'm only up about 7% on this position. I didn't start buying this until like late summer of this year. So I can't really expect too good of a return there. But I should be done buying this for the rest of the year since I'm not going to be having any more Canadian dollars funneled into my TFSA for the year. As you can see over here, I've only got $30 Canadian left in the account, and I'm sitting on a pretty nice cash pile of about 8,500 USD. This was from taking a bunch of profits on a different single stocks. You can go check out one of my last videos. I think it was like maybe 2 or 3 videos ago where I went over the 5 stocks that I took profits on. But yeah, since my TFSA is maxed for 2025 down here, I will not have any more CAD coming into this account because I don't want to transfer this USD back into Canadian dollars because I'll be hit with that exchange fee. So I'm keeping it in USD, and I'll get into what I'm going to be buying with it. Next is Palantir. If you know anything about Palantir at this point, like they've just been on an absolute rocket ship. I've only got 3 shares left. I used to have like 50 between my TFSA and RRSP, but I've sold a bunch of them. Anyways, I'm sitting at about 600 USD worth, and I'm up 1,200% in my TFSA on Palantir. That's insane. Next up is QQC.F. Again, I will not be buying any more of this for the rest of 2025 since I'm out of contribution limit for Canadian dollars in my TFSA, but I've got 22.3 shares worth about 4,500 Canadian, and I'm up just shy of 30% on QQC. Shopify, a stock that has been doing phenomenal lately. I'm at about 20 shares, just shy of 5,000 Canadian dollars. And I'm only up 25% on these Shopify shares despite owning them for like 4 years at this point. I literally bought them near the end of 2021 when they were at the old all-time high. But obviously, Shopify struggled for quite a long time and it only just recently surged past new all-time highs. Thus, my return is finally green on this. I'm going to keep holding Shopify. I love what they're doing. I think this will become a very profitable stock for me in the future. Next up, Tesla, one of my largest single positions. I've got 20 shares here in the TFSA worth over 9,000 USD. The stock is sitting at $456 as of the time of recording this. And I am looking to trim some profits on Tesla stock once I see this hit 500 US dollars. That's just kind of been my psychological number for the stock. I'm up 192% almost. So I'm probably going to sell maybe like 6 or 7 shares here in the TFSA of Tesla. I have more Tesla in my other account. But the reason I'm going to sell 6 or 7 shares is because that's basically going to take out what my initial investment was in this account, because at that time, I'm going to be up like over 200% on Tesla stock. TTD is another stock that I have that has been struggling as of late. I've got about 34 shares in my TFSA worth 1,700 US dollars, and obviously I'm down 30%, which is kind of crazy to see that I'm down 30%. Obviously, the stock is trading at about 50 US dollars right now, but once upon a time, at the end of 2024, this thing was almost 140 bucks, which means I was damn near up 100% on TTD at that time. That's pretty crazy to see that downfall. I think this will come back over time though. And the final 3 positions in my TFSA are all very core fundamental positions. They're all ETFs here. So I've got VFE. I've got about almost 17,000 Canadian in VFE, up almost 50%. And then I've got a bit of VOO worth 2,200 USD, up 10%. And the reason why I have VOO in my TFSA is not because I convert my funds from Canadian to USD to buy VOO. Rather, my profits from USD positions I put into VOO so that I'm not converting it back into Canadian and being hit with an exchange fee to go back to Canadian. So keeping profits in US dollars and just putting it in VOO regardless. So that's why I have VOO in this account. And then lastly, I have XEQT, just over 16,000 Canadian, and I'm up about almost 30% on XEQT. And here we have the transactions I had this week. So I had about 90 USD buy of VOO in my TFSA. And then, of course, the last couple buys of QQC and FBTC for the year. I had $25 of QQC and $50 into FBTC. Next up here is my RRSP. It's at $75,635.48. And over the past week, the RRSP saw a gain of about $1,100 or 1.5%. And all time, the gain is about $33,400, up almost 80%. That's pretty awesome. Let's jump into the holdings here in the RRSP. First of all, I have AMD, about 8 shares worth just over 2,000 USD. And of course, I used to have more shares of AMD in the account, but I've taken profits as time has gone on if you've kept up with my videos in the past. And the position in the RRSP here is up 163%. Next, I have the Bitcoin ETF, FPTC. I've got about 44 shares worth about $2,200. Again, just like the TFSA, only up 7% on this because I only started buying this midway through 2025, I believe. Then I have HXQ. This is a NASDAQ 100 ETF. I'm at about 94 shares worth just shy of 10,000 Canadian dollars. And I'm up over 100% on this NASDAQ ETF, which is insane. I think I was buying a majority of this back in 2022 and 2023. So this ETF has, this is well more than paid off for me. And again, Palantir here in the RRSP, I'm at only 4 shares. I had a bunch more, as I mentioned. I had 50 shares combined in the TFSA and RRSP, so I'm only down to 7 total shares. And in this account, I have about $800 worth, and I'm up 605% on this position in this account. Next is SCHD. I'm just over 8,000 USD worth of SCHD. Actually just hit 300 shares, which is pretty nice to see. I'm only up 2% on this position despite DCAing into this for like well over a year at this point. Obviously, the dividend yield is about 4% on this. This is like one of my only dividend plays that I have in my whole portfolio is SCHD. I'll just continue buying this. It hasn't been doing particularly well in the past couple of years, honestly, but I think it will have its time to shine eventually. Now, my Shopify shares in this account have done significantly better than the shares in my TFSA. I've only got 5 shares of Shopify worth about $1,200 in this account. I just recently took profits on this in this account. I used to have 10 shares. I'm up 174% pretty much. And the reason why this Shopify position has done so much better than my TFSA one is because I was buying this in, I think it was 2022, honestly. So I had bought these well after it had crashed versus my TFSA where I bought it at old all-time highs. So that's why this Shopify position has done significantly better and why I've been able to trim a little bit of profits here off the top. And same deal with the Tesla shares in the RRSP as well, except it's vice versa. I've got about 16.5 Tesla shares in this account worth 7,500 USD, but I'm only up about 76% on these shares versus my other account where it's 200%. I just bought these ones at a different time. I got in a little earlier in the TFSA, hence why I'm up more in that account. But again, I will probably sell maybe about 4 shares in this account. I think my average cost basis is about $250. So when I hit 500 USD, when Tesla hits 500 USD in this account, I will be up probably 100% at that point. So I might sell maybe like 3 or 4 shares at that time. And then once again, TTD, 11 shares worth about 500 USD, positions down 8%, a little bit better than the TFSA, but this was up over 100% at one point. That's why I love taking profits on things that when I see I've doubled my money, I like taking a little bit off the top. I like paying myself, rewarding myself, and reallocating those profits back into some safer ETFs because honestly, single stocks can be pretty risky like that. And the biggest core position in the RRSP is, of course, VOO, about 20,500 USD, and I'm up about 33% on VOO in this account. For the transactions this week, I had about 90 USD buy of VOO in the RRSP. I had a 53 USD buy of SCHD, and lastly, a $50 Canadian buy of FBTC, the Bitcoin ETF. Next up is the non-registered. I'm at $18,553.88 in this account, and this week I saw a gain of just under $200 or just under 1%. All time, the account is sitting pretty nice at a $9,000 gain. Getting pretty close to 100% all time. And quite literally, the only holding I have in the non-registered account is VFV. I've got 108 shares worth, obviously, the whole account balance, up 81%. I used to have some other positions in this account, but I've just funneled it all into VFV. This was quite a while ago. And I just want to preface that I have never put money into my non-registered account before my TFSA and RRSP have been maxed. So the whole balance of this account has been deposited during times where my TFSA and RRSP were maxed for the year. As you can see, I haven't put money into this account since late 2023. My crypto account has seemed like it's been all over the place recently. It's sitting at $40,457.76, and this week it was down about $2,200 or 5.27%. All time, the account is still up $24,000 or 150%, which is awesome to see. But I am really hoping that by the end of this year, we see this final push in the crypto market. We are in the 4th year of the bull cycle, so this is usually when we see some big returns. I'm really hoping that it happens again, but I have taken profits on a bunch of Bitcoin throughout the last year, so I'm pretty content if maybe the bull run is over at this point. I'm just going to continue holding all my crypto positions into the next bull run if that happens in 4 years, or nobody knows what's going to happen. Some people are saying that the 4-year cycle is over and crypto is just going to keep going up forever, but I personally don't believe that. But I've been pretty happy with the profits I've been able to take over the past couple of years, and I'm sitting at a pretty nice position of Bitcoin, which we'll get into here in a second. So first position is Cardano. I've got about $800 Canadian, just under, and I'm up 113% on Cardano. And then Bitcoin, I am sitting at about 0.12 Bitcoin, and this is worth 18,500. I think at one point I used to have 0.2 Bitcoin at once upon a time. So that's just all been Bitcoin that I've taken profits on. I'm essentially probably never gonna go under 0.1 Bitcoin. So if I do ever take more profits on this Bitcoin, I'm probably just gonna take 0.02 Bitcoin and sell that so I can stay over 0.1 Bitcoin at all time. And my Bitcoin is up 140% still. Next, I have about $100 worth of Cody. This one has done pretty poorly for me. I'm down 80%, but as we get into the end of 2025, if there are a bunch of crypto positions that I'm down on, just like Cody, obviously I'm going to get into the rest of them that I am down on, I'm probably going to sell them and tax loss harvest them. I think that's not a bad idea to do. And with the sell amounts, I might just put it back into Bitcoin. I'm not sure at this point, but I'm likely going to sell all these positions that I'm down on to tax loss harvest, which is something that I've never really done before. Anyways, next I have about $100 worth of Doge. I'm up 123% on that one. And another one that I'm down on, Polkadot. I've got about $1,000 worth of Polkadot, down 55%. Again, I could tax loss harvest this at the end of the year if this doesn't have a nice Q4 pump. Then I have Ethereum. I'm at about 2.1 Ethereum, worth 11,500 Canadian dollars. It says that I'm up 83% on my Ethereum, but it's actually well more than that. I transferred Ethereum into this account, and it took the transfer as my average cost basis, but the Ethereum that I transferred over, I was up like well over 100%. So this has skewed my Ethereum return all time quite a bit. I'm probably closer to like 150% all time on my Ethereum. But Ethereum, I've really been hoping to take profits on this. I want to sell one Ethereum hopefully this year. Then I have a small position of KNC worth $34. This one's just very small. I'm probably just going to sell it and never buy into it again, down 63%. And Chainlink, this is one of my favorite crypto positions. I'm at about 152 coins worth $3,600, up 82%. I think at one point I was up like 150% on Chainlink. I think it could still get there by the end of the year. And then I have a couple bad ones here. Again, Mana and Polygon. I've got like $1,000 combined between the two of them, and I'm down collectively about 80% between the two. So this could be a nice tax loss harvest that I could take advantage of. And Solana, again, one of my favorite positions. I've got 13 Solana worth 3,300 Canadian, and I'm up over 300% on Solana. I've done very well on this one. I think at one point I was like 500% all-time return or something crazy like that, but I have taken profits on Solana over the years, so I'm very content with what I'm holding right now. And lastly, I have a very small position of XRP worth $175, and I'm up 409% on that. And then this week, I just had a recurring buy of Bitcoin worth $50. I am probably not going to be buying much Bitcoin for the rest of the year. I've got $150 left in the crypto account to spend up. So I'm probably just going to have $50 buy for the next 3 weeks, and that'll be all the crypto buys for the rest of the year, I think. All right, and then the last account here is just my checking account earning 2.5% interest. This account is at $11,824.07. And as of November 1st, I received a interest payment of $25.14. So that's nice to see. So everyone, that's how the portfolio is looking as of the beginning of November here. I'm really hoping to hit $250,000 in the portfolio by the end of 2025. That would be really cool to see. Obviously, if I do get there, I will have an all-time return of over $100,000. So that's kind of two milestones at once if I can hit $250,000 in the portfolio. So be sure to subscribe and hit the like button down below to make sure that you don't miss me hitting that milestone. I will hit it eventually regardless, no matter how long it takes me. But anyways, that's going to do it for this week's portfolio update video. I hope you all have enjoyed. And other than that, I will see you all next time.